In this video, we are going to learn about how to use Code Builder for deploying your code in a development org. So, uh, in the previous video, we had seen how to set up a code builder and connect that code builder environment to a development org. So, before you come to this video, you can watch the previous video, so you will get the basic understanding about setting up code builder, connecting that code builder environment to an org where you wanted to do the development, then it makes sense. It makes sense to deploy code into the development org. So the link to that video is given in the description, which you can watch before you start looking at this video. So again, this video, we will focus on deploying code to the development org. So to demonstrate this, I've just picked up a sample application. It's called Partner App and Partner Management App. So imagine that you wanted to deploy a code base, for this Partner Management App, and this code base is residing inside GitHub. So again, the previous video we did download the base code from GitHub for this Partner Management App. This is what we are going to deploy into the development org in this video. So this is the app. So as you can see, you have list of partners that are tied to your organization, and you have the primary point of contact of the each partner, and also you get to see the details about each partner and reviews about the partner given by the sales team. So to build this application, at least in the base code, what we have is as you can see on the top, we have a few custom objects and custom fields created. So this is the simple data model. you know Partner type is a custom object. Partner performance reviews, again a custom object. There are few custom fields added in the account. So let me not go in detail into it, but what matters now is this entire code base, right? As in the source code for object, the source code for these custom objects, and the source code for custom fields. Everything is stored in the base project that's been downloaded from GitHub. So we will be deploying this project into the development org, and then see how we can use, or I can do that from the code builder environment. uh, so this project. So let's try to deploy that code into our development org, which is Creative Unicorn. So if I go to Creative Unicorn, I don't find this app partner management. I don't find this step partner management. So let us see how we can, deploy the code using code base and then bring partner component, right? Partner management app and the relevant data model, custom objects, custom fields, everything, right? Into this Creative Unicorn. So let's do that. So first, let me go to the code builder app, the Curious Raccoon. So let me go to Curious Raccoon. I think I'll close this one. So yeah. So this is Curious Raccoon, my code builder environment. And let me click on launch. So again, uh, so this will open up a dedicated environment for me for doing the development, isn't it? Which we built or which we configured by downloading the code from GitHub, isn't it? So let's wait for this to open up. And then let's do with the deployment. Let's continue with the deployment. Perfect. Now I have the code base, right? So I was just talking about the custom objects, custom fields, right? If you just go to this main directory, right? If you go to objects, you will see the source code of the two custom objects, partner performance review and partner type, and also you will see the custom fields in the account. So you will also see page layouts. You will also see partner management tab. There is a permission set that is also added in this base code. So this will help us to configure permission set to any user who can access this partner management tab. So the base code for us to get started with the project, it's available. So how do we deploy this? So the instructions are given right in this readme.md. So this is what we did initially, isn't it? So we used, we downloaded the code from GitHub, and now the code base is available. And we know that this code base is connected to the development org as well, right? So it is time for us to deploy. For deployment, there are two options. One is I can directly use Salesforce DX command, developer experience command, run this command in the bash terminal and then get it installed. Or I can, I can use the VS Code extension pack, the Salesforce extension pack in VS Code. So if I go to extensions, as I said earlier, we will have all the tools, pre-built or pre-installed in this environment, right? So Salesforce's extension pack is already installed. So using which I don't have to remember the commands. Instead, I can just directly, do the deployment. I can do it. So which is fairly easy. If you go to this Explorer and then simply, for example, let's say I wanted to deploy these objects, right? I can simply right click and then click on deploy source to org. So this will ensure these objects, right, are deployed into the org that this environment is connected to. So let's try this first and then see what happens. So let me click on deploy source to org. So it says running SFTX. Let's wait for this to complete. So it says now deploy source to org successfully run. And as you can see, right, it also, shows the components that have been deployed, right? Fine, let's go back and then, cross check whether this is really, deployed in our development org. So let me go back to create a unicorn because this is the one, this is the development org, right? Connected to code builder. So let me go here, let me go to setup. And if we go to object manager, and if I look for partner, perfect. I could see two custom objects, right? Partner type and partner performance review, which means now my objects, my custom objects have been successfully deployed, right? So this is working. Let's continue this. Let's try to deploy all the, the entire code base, which we can certainly do, in two ways again. I can just go here and then click on view command palette. I can just search for deploy. Or I'll just do this one. I'll just right click this, or force app, and then let me try to click on deploy source to org. What happens is when I do it at this level, all the components, right, applications, app menus, layouts, WBC, everything, inside this gets deployed. Let's try this. Let's right click, deploy source to org. Perfect. So this is now completed, right? So we used Salesforce extension pack, which is a VS Code extension to deploy our code, right? To play our code. And if you go back to the README file, so you have instructions to do the same code deployment using a command, which is again fairly easy. Just copy this command. You can go here and then click on File, click on Terminal, click a new terminal. So you get this option. You get this tab opened. And what you can do is just paste this one and yeah. So in this, just replace the org alias name, which you can find it right here, in the bottom of your code builder, in the bottom of your, code builder, so or environment. So what I can do is I can just simply go here and then just replace this prm dev org. So this will exactly do the same thing, what I just did. I used, interface to deploy the code, right? Right click, deploy source to org. Instead, I can do it using SFTX commands as well. Behind the scenes, even when I use this UI to deploy the code, behind the scenes, it is the, the command that gets executed to deploy the components. Yeah. So this will also simply work. So once this is done, right, the next step is to assign permission set. So if you go back to this org now, so I do, I will have everything, the tabs, everything, custom fields, custom objects. But do I have partner management app? I don't still see the partner management app, right? So to get the partner management app available for the users, right, so we need to assign a permission set. Okay, this is a system administrator account, right? So we got to, assign a permission set. So permission set has already been created or deployed, in the previous step. It's there in the base code. So this is the permissions that I'm talking about, partner management tab. So let's try to assign that permission set. Okay, so I can go here. So now I'm a system administrator, user record. So I can go to permission set and then I can manually assign partner management app permission set so that I will get access to the custom fields, custom objects. I'll also, get to see that application, appearing in my app launcher. So I can do that, or I can use, sftx command that to assign a permission set. So this is to, explain that it is also possible to configure your permission set, all such things using, sftx command. Let's try this one. Okay, so this is the command that I can use to assign permission set. So let me just try this one. Just paste the command and let's see what happens. Perfect. Now it says that, right, it has just assigned the partner management app permission set to the default user. In our case, it is the same user that we use to connect to this environment, which is a system administrator account. Yeah. So in case if you do not want, if you want to explicitly mention, the user, right, to which the permission set needs to be assigned, I can use the switch hyphen zero, the parameter, and then mention the user name of the username. So this way I can able to configure permissions to certain users. That is possible. So we'll not go more details into SFTX now because our focus is to set up the project and then continue with LWC development, right? So for now, let me not talk about this more, but this is the command that we can use to assign permission set, to the default user, which is a system administrator account, number one. Number two, the second key takeaway is you can use SFTX to configure all these things, creating user deployment, creating, assigning permission set, all such things, you can do it. Yeah. So this way, I now have assigned the permission set. Yeah. So now that we have assigned this permission set to the system administrator, right? So now let's go and then see whether that app is visible. So I'll go to the development org, which is in our case, it is called Creative Unicorn, right? So let me just go back to the home. Let me just refresh this page. Let me look for partner management. There you go. So we have the application, right? So previously it was not there, but now since we have assigned the permission set, I could see the permission set, I could see the app, correct? So I could see partner types, I could see partner performance reviews, both are, custom objects that we added, correct? But right now there are no data. There is no data, isn't it? There is no data in both the custom objects. So we will try to use SFTX tree commands. It's called, import and export commands to import data, to set up sample data for us to use in this app, which we can talk about in the next video.